What's up, guys? Welcome to Big Pants Underground. This is John, your host. Today, I would like to talk about something near and dear to my heart, which is nuclear submarine operations. I served aboard a Los Angeles class attack submarine, and I am quite knowledgeable on the subject. Now, yesterday on X and some other news organizations, they posted that there was a company in Norway called Haltback Bunkers, and they released a statement saying that they would no longer refuel our ships. Particularly, they pointed out the USS Delaware, which was said to have had to leave because they couldn't get fuel. And this is supposedly the track of the USS Delaware. For one, don't believe this, okay, at all. We do not show the locations of our subs, okay? And submarines rarely run on the surface, especially modern nuclear-powered submarines. The key word here is nuclear submarine, okay? Nuclear submarines run off of nuclear fission, where high-grade uranium is used as a fuel to heat up steam and drive the propeller, drive the turbines that give us electrical power, so on and so forth. Submarines do not need to refuel every couple of weeks. These submarines, the reactors in these submarines are designed to last for years. On the Los Angeles class, the Ohios, the Skipjacks, it was about 25 years. On the newer the newer Virginia class submarines, which is what the USS Delaware is, the reactor is designed to last the entire lifetime of the submarine without refueling. If you do need to refuel a sub, you can't just pull into some random port and do that, okay? You have to go into a dry dock. It's a very specialized process. There's no outside access to the reactor compartment, so the uranium has to be taken through the submarine. It's a whole ordeal. I've never seen it done. That's how rare this is, that you actually have to refuel a submarine. It has been done. There's been several of our subs that have been refueled and put back in service. But the USS Delaware, which is a Virginia class, certainly did not need to be refueled in Norway. Now, they are, of course, talking about diesel fuel, marine diesel fuel, which submarines do have to carry because they do have a backup diesel generator that can be used in an emergency. The specific emergencies are reactor scram, which means the reactor just shuts down without warning, or it can be scrammed manually, which is highly rare, especially when you're underway. Okay, they might scram the reactor for a drill, but not really. Okay, without the reactor, you have no propulsion. You have no way to keep the sub from basically sinking if you're underwater. You would definitely need to surface and blow your ballast tanks to keep yourself on the surface. So that is an extreme emergency situation. We can also use the diesel to ventilate the submarine if we need to replace the air. The diesel is good at doing that. It is very rare to do that with the diesel underway. Submarines also have a blower motor, an electrical blower motor that can easily replace the air in the submarine within something like 15 minutes. So running the diesel, unless it's a drill underway or an actual emergency, is very rare. Submarines like to be quiet. Diesel engines are not quiet, especially these huge ones that they put on subs. So you hardly ever run these diesels, okay? Secondly, in all the years that I was aboard a submarine, we never pulled into a foreign port to fill up on diesel fuel, okay? We don't have to do that. A nuclear submarine carries enough diesel fuel to last for weeks. We could run that diesel for weeks at a time without running out of fuel. That is how much fuel those boats carry. The fuel tank itself is actually used as shielding from the reactor. That's how big the diesel fuel tank is. It's basically the entire circumference of the submarine, and it's filled with diesel fuel. And as the diesel fuel runs out, as the diesel uses it, the tank is topped up with water, so there's always that protection between the reactor and the forward compartments. The diesel tank protects it, so we never let it run dry. And there's so much fuel in there that you wouldn't run out, especially under normal operations. You could run that diesel over and over and over again and not run out under normal operations for months to years. That's how we don't use that diesel. And if we do, like I said, we're in port. And in port, there's a giant boat that the Navy has called a submarine tender that its entire job is to supply these submarines with torpedoes, with fuel, with Tomahawk missiles. So the only time that I ever saw us refuel the boat, and it was very rare that we needed to top on diesel fuel, we were in port in Norfolk, tied up next to the tender. So I don't know where this company, Haltback Bunkers, got that they were turning away a nuclear submarine. Maybe the submarine might have been scheduled to dock there, but I don't see them topping off the fuel. Okay. They might have been talking about surface ships. That could be a whole nother thing, but the Navy also has oilers that can travel the planet to refuel our surface ships. And a lot of our surface ships are nuclear. So I don't know why this was such a big thing. I think that the left tried to blow this completely out of proportion to just say, hey, look what they're doing. I mean, you can see right here, this guy, Marcus, Trump advance, have you ever said thank you? USS Delaware, hello, please refuel. Haltback Bunkers, nope, F off. That just doesn't happen. That didn't happen. This is a complete fabrication. Now, the very next day, today, Norway itself released a statement saying that NATO member Norway will continue to supply fuel for the U.S. Navy ships, the country's defense minister said on Sunday, after a call from a private marine fuel supplier to stop doing so in response to the apparent breakdown in U.S.-Ukrainian relations. We have seen reports raising concerns about support for U.S. Navy vessels in Norway. This is not in line with the Norwegian government policy, Norway's defense minister, Tor Sandvik, said in a statement. So it was all bullshit anyway. But I just wanted to be able to clarify it for everyone because, like I said, I served on a submarine. I know how these submarines work. The Virginia classes are based on the Los Angeles class design. So as far as the auxiliary systems go, which I was a member of the auxiliary gang, an A-ganger, a machinist mate, and the diesel was my playground. I operated the diesel. I performed maintenance on the diesel. I did all kinds of things to the diesel. And trust me, nuclear submarines do not need to pull into Norway to refuel, whether it's diesel fuel, whether it's nuclear fusion rods or fission rods, uranium 235 or whatever it is that they use. I'm not even 100% sure what type of uranium that they use, but diesel submarine or nuclear submarines do not need to pull to Norway to refuel. That's the bottom line. So don't believe everything that you hear. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. If you have any more questions that I am capable of answering about my submarine, I will answer them. Just leave your questions in the comments. There are, of course, some questions that I'm not allowed to answer because it's classified and I don't want to go to prison. But thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate your support. I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.